Hi, and welcome to our latest interview spotlights in the run-up to the European Multispecific Antibody Congress. My name is Jose de Uriarte Diaz. I'm a life science portfolio manager at Cassava Research, and it is a pleasure to be joined by Mark Chiu, President and Chief Scientific Officer at Tavotek Biotherapeutics. Mark, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Jose, for this great opportunity to interact and share with people at this European Multispecific Antibody Congress. Yeah.
Fantastic. So to kick things off, perhaps it would be great if you could give us maybe an introduction to yourself and your background in the space.
Okay. So I have been working on the theme of multi-specific antibodies. I've been working first with bispecific antibodies in terms of developing new therapeutic hypotheses from the effort of working with bispecifics in terms of confirming the new modalities that you can have. This is associated with aspects of how bispecifics can be used to combat solid tumors. We have been looking at different types of bispecific platforms. We were investigating ways in which you could combat protein-protein interaction control on the cell surface of the cancer cells. We've been looking at ways in which you can engage different classes of immune cells so that you can more or less combat different types of tumor types. So I have been working in the field where I've demonstrated the ability to generate a variety of bispecific antibodies in different formats, showing how you can go from discovery towards NME to IND. I've been looking at the strategies by which you go through an efficient bispecific or differentiation of bispecific antibodies. I've watched carefully and guided teams that have transitioned from phase 1 to phase 2, phase 3 to BLA. You'll see descriptions of how bispecifics can come together in different publications that we've worked on. And you will see also information of how the strategy by which we do clinical phase batch delivery can be put together in an efficient manner.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So going back a little bit, so what brought you to this field? Are there any particular memories or past achievements that come to mind or you're particularly proud of?
One of the things I'm particularly proud of is being able to work with other companies, such as with Genmab, in which we have moved forward the advancement of their DuoBody technology to generate a wide number of approved drugs, bispecific antibody drugs. And the main achievement really is being able to work and partner with other companies so that you can move technologies in the most efficient and productive manner. This has resulted in several patents as well as several publications that I think have really shown people what you can really do with bispecific technology. Now, the bispecific technology is a stepping stone from which you can see the potential of making multi-specific agents. And that ability to add more value to that single molecule is essentially something that is particularly important as we advance within that field. And what I mean by having more say, activity, you can see that often a bispecific technology can be limited in terms of what may be that you can treat, what can be given to the patient. However, that could be improved tremendously by adding particular domains that introduce that multi-specificity beyond just a bispecific agent.
Right. So taking that experience into account, what is it about sort of multi-specifics that interests you and continues to motivate you to work in the field?
So multi-specific agents allows us to have better control of the resistance mechanisms that may come up with different classes of tumors. With tumor types that were tumor burden suggests that there's a greater array of factors that are influencing the patient's tumor's growth. And being able to have orthogonal mechanisms of control is something that's going to be important to help these patients. So having better strategies to address these problems is what makes me want to advance more on the multi-specific space. The opportunity to share different ideas and how we can do this better, of course, is something that drives me to improve in this area.
So given the sort of excitement and promise in this set of modalities, obviously challenges remain and some emerging. How have you seen the field mature since you've been working in it?
There is a transition that's going beyond just a platform of a bispecific or multi-specific agent. That is becoming more routine. Rather, the design of an experimental hypothesis and how one could test and select for the best molecule is where the field has to go.
Sure. So from your perspective, what are sort of those current and major challenges being faced in industry?
So the current challenges lies in how one can control the affinity and avidity of the components that allow you to generate the multi-specific agent. The nature of how you go and prepare the architecture to select for the best type of activity is going to be one of the ongoing challenges. But first and foremost, understanding the biology well enough so that you can develop the molecules to advance a therapeutic hypothesis.
So turning to the company Tavotek, just a bit of particular interest in the field is obviously demonstrating safety and efficacy against solid tumors. And if I'm not mistaken, Tavotek has their own unique approach. Could you kindly tell us a bit more about the company and expertise and how you intend to overcome these challenges you just mentioned and the challenges in the space?
Tavotek is taking an approach of focusing on the specific location and environment around the tumor microenvironment. So that effort of looking at the location of the driver mutations, the location of how the immune cells can respond to these tumor cells in that tumor microenvironment, as well as controlling the food source to that tumor microenvironment. These are all orthogonal methods that you can engage a tri-specific so that you can have a stronger activity in that solid tumor environment.
So what are Tavotek's ambitions for the next, 5 to 10 years?
So Tavotek is focused on the challenge of solid tumor control. And we're going to be focusing on 3 different aspects. One, linked towards how to break the penetration into the solid tumor environment. So stromal tissue control involving the extracellular matrix. Sorry. So what we're interested in doing is being able to control the stromal tissue barriers, be it associated with cancer-associated fibroblasts, as well as with the extracellular matrix polymers. Second is we're trying to deal with the problem of dysfunctional immune cells and how one can best activate its activity in the solid tumor environment. And third, how we can have engagement of the immune cells so that you have increased levels of penetration into that solid tumor environment. And by tackling all 3 of these aspects together in a multi-specific is how we want to treat the problem of solid tumors.
Great stuff. We'll certainly be on the lookout for these in the near future. Thank you. So turning to the event now, we're certainly very excited to welcome you as a speaker at the European Multispecific Antibody Congress this coming February in Amsterdam. Could you tell us a bit more about what you're looking forward to the most at the event?
What I look forward to most is being able to interact with different scientists from academia and industry to talk about the potential of the challenges of solid tumors, the opportunities of making multi-specifics in different types of orientation, the effort of looking at different mechanisms of actions to combat solid tumor so that we can all compare and contrast how we can best help patients with this really important medical need.
You obviously you'll be delivering a presentation at the conference. Can you give the audience maybe a bit of a hint on what they could expect?
What I'm going to present at this conference is the ability of engaging a tri-specific that can have multiple mechanisms of action, the ability to shut down driver mutations so that you can decrease the risk of proliferation and metastasis. I'm going to show how you can engage the immune cells so that you can have an opportunity to have better shutdown of those cells. And I also want to demonstrate how angiogenesis control can minimize the food source to these tumors. And what I'm going to show you are examples that have not been described well for challenging targets such as triple negative breast cancer, as well as pancreatic cancer, gastric cancer, and other GI cancers, which there's not a lot of agents that are available. And the desire of showing how you can engage a tri-specific agent to help patients of this type is what I want to share.
Excellent stuff. I'm certain that this session would be a great addition to the agenda, and I really look forward to listening on your talk. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me, Mark. It's great hearing about your work and Tavotek's trajectories and what's in store for the future. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.